the Geiger counter. So, with this bad boy, let's see if I can get it close enough for you all to see. I can detect X-ray, gamma ray, radiation of all sorts. It's just another tool to our arsenal. If we go through and realistically with ghost hunting in general, you go through and you pick up things, right? Things that weren't there before, or something interacting with you. The more little gizmos that you have that did not see a thing when you first did your walkthrough, and then all of a sudden start picking up, that's the unknown. And then that's what we try to debunk. We try to say, hey, is it this, is it that? But sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's just, for whatever reason, something's there. And whether it be a ghost, whether it be some type of weird unknown in the air at that exact moment, at that exact time, picking up on this equipment is what we investigate. And the thing is once we investigate with these tools and we come to a location and we start picking up stuff, there's that fine line, okay, where's people's safety and paranormal. If we can use these tools and find that somebody's home is not worth living, then that's safety. If we use these tools, we don't find anything, and then we start getting like random bleeps of stuff, it's cause for concern. What is it? So, whether or not you believe in ghosts, or if you believe in anything we can't see that's happening around us, or if you ever question the unknown, or if you find solace in finding an answer and believing in whatever it is you believe, what we do is we try to interact with that possible unknown. Hello everyone. Alright. So, this thing here is very sensitive. I don't just toss it in my pouch, my fanny pack. What it does is, on the inside there's a tube, and so it doesn't like if you throw it around, if you drop it. So you definitely want to be careful with this device. This device picks up all forms of radiation, the box of gamma, beta, X-ray, and it's a Geiger counter. And so what happens is, the machine will take a base reading of the location you're at. And then once it does that base reading, it'll start trending out and reporting data to how safe it is. So right now the alarm is set that if anything gets to a 0.5, that's not safe. And so that's what we keep an eye out for. That usually indicates that there is some form of radioactivity. And at that point, that's where we say you want to call someone, call poison control, call someone to come out and investigate. Because you have more problems than just ghosts. You have radioactive ghost. I'm just kidding. So, again, we just walked through the house. I'm going to do that again with you here, but with this device, and then I'll be able to show you some of the readings that it gives me.
Hello everyone. So, it's another day, and I just want to add thank you for continuing to follow us, and as soon as we get some opportunities to investigate, you'll get to see some more of those fun adventures. So, this episode we are covering the Geiger counter, right? So, radiation. Apparently, to my understanding, there's an appropriate level, and it's everywhere. You can take this to your house and go through. It collects what's in the air, and it'll give an average. Believe it or not, some like older paints, like the paint, like if you notice, like outside, like planters, like people had potted plants. Way back in the day, there was actually traces of radiation on them. This thing will go off. It's that it looks green, like over time the color turned green. So I'm gonna do one more run with this so you all can see it from start to finish and how each bar goes through and how we do our base reading. So. There we go. Try to get the speaker in there so you can hear it. The object of this is just to walk around and see if we get anything. The number at the top is the real-time data, like what's collecting within that time frame. The number in the middle, I believe, will give you the average after so much time has gone by, and then the trend. It gives you like a little chart. So again, the theory goes, if you have nothing going on in the house and you have an average of something, right? And that average spikes from an unknown source, well, it's another point of origin. It's another thing for us to look at. Really, a lot of the stuff we do is just questions. Why does this do that? Why does this react when there was nothing here earlier? And for the record, you can configure this. It defaults to 0.5. If something gets to a 0.5 on this, an alarm will go off. You can change that depending on where you're reading. And again, on a safety point, it all goes back to show you want to be safe with this stuff, right? If you are at a home and you will probably have more issues than just saying things out of the corner of your eyes. You will probably have a lot more issues related to any type of radiation poisoning. And I will put that in the details as something to look out for. Again, it's another little tool to kind of check to make sure that, hey, it's safe. In this basement, we've been running at about a 10 to an 11. Again, it's just walking around to see, just it filters through. So if I'm in a house and this thing starts getting to a very, very high reading, to where the alarm goes off, yeah, I would have some concern. Oh. It takes quite a few minutes for it to go into like an average, but I want to show you that. You can see the trend though. So I think, just judging off this basement, the highest that it spiked was by the electrical, particularly this old cable and over through here. I wish we had this and the thermal. Oh. So now you get your average. But when we had that situation when in our last investigation, when we were in the kitchen, the more stuff you have to kind of set that baseline, the more stuff, the better. So you actually have more tools at your disposal. I wish we had this because it would have been something else to check. Aside from the electrical magnetic radiation detector, the reader going off, we could have used this, or it would have been lovely to see the thermal, because all of us had the same feelings. We felt like we were standing there and there was something right between us. And it's nice to be able to have stuff like this to be able to check. Like I said, it's another gadget for our arsenal. And I love the fact that it's a two-parter. I can verify that a location's safe. Not many people, I don't believe in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, have this equipment relatively available. So if you ever had a concern about your house, older house with an older paint that may be letting off radiation, you never know. Funny story. I remember reading about a kid who was interested in like nuclear stuff. They had a Geiger counter. They went on a trip with their family, and just for grins, they were pulling it out and they were kind of going through, and they didn't realize it. They thought it was broken because it started picking up like high readings. Sure enough, back in like the late 60s, somebody had drums of radioactive waste, and this kid stumbled upon them. So again, you never know. You never know. And that's what we're about. We're trying to figure out the unknown. And for people who are more skeptic, again, it adds proof to the pudding, right? You have something that is legit. And if I'm getting a baseline reading in this house using all these gadgets, and then all of a sudden out of the blue when we start poking at something that's not there, this stuff starts spiking up, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you believe in ghosts, paranormal, anything, explain that to us, because that's the unknown that we're trying to get answers to. So I wanted to take that time for you all to get a full reading. This thing will constantly run on its own to get an average. I have not, fortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to be around anything that's radioactive. So, I haven't had the chance to actually see this thing go off. But if I do, I'll definitely let you know and we'll do a follow-up video. There's still more videos to come, so we will keep you posted. And as always, thanks for the likes, thanks for the following, and if you have any questions or need help with anything, definitely let us know.